So with national anthems for both teams as well as pre-match huckers. Before we take you through the two team lists of the sides that are going to take the field today, a big shout out to Upright Access, official sponsors of the game. Mick Curran, of course, has a close connection to both Tongan Rugby League and Auckland Rugby League. He was the first ever captain of Mate Maa Tonga and also a veteran of the Auckland Rugby League club scene. Great to see Mick Curran involved in this one, and we thank Upright Access for their support making this one possible. And what a game it's going to be. The curtain raiser has set the tone beautifully. We are all set for a big one here. The Auckland representative team, they will be captained out onto the field by Jethro Friend, son of Clayton Friend, and Jordan Tuore, the veteran Glenora Bears playmaker. Co-captains today, well, Tonga will be led out by Daniel Palavi, one of the best domestic league players in New Zealand. Now playing his footy for the Point Chevalier Pirates, formerly of the Mount Albert Lions. Shout out as well to our Auckland Vulcans women's team playing at the national tournament just around the corner here in Auckland at Cornwall Park right now. The Vulcans opening their tournament with a 16-0 win over Canterbury. Lorena Papali'i, the standout, 4 line breaks in the middle of the park. A real key for the Auckland side in a grinding match at Cornwall Park. They take on Wellington later in the day. So we're just waiting now for the two teams to make their way out onto the field. We mentioned the crowd, you saw some shots of it earlier. Gathering now in their hundreds here at Mount Smart Stadium. Building nicely, plenty of Tongan flags on display as well. Of course, we always knew a sea of red was going to converge on this stadium for this game. Who could forget Mate Maa Tonga's stunning run at the World Cup, which culminated with a semi-final played at a capacity crowd here at Mount Smart Stadium, 30,000 in attendance. So the last remaining Toa Samoa Invitational and Auckland Māori under-20 players now making their way from the field. The Auckland representative team have featured a few times recently up against New Zealand Māori teams. Certainly their first time playing in Auckland for a long, long time. Prior to that, it was a trip to Canterbury for the centenary of the Auckland Rugby League, 2009. So here they come, ladies and gentlemen, the Tonga New Zealand residents led out onto the park by Daniel Palavi, and Auckland led out by Jordan Tuore, and close behind him Jethro Friend, the two men tasked with leading Auckland back into battle. How good to see that blue jersey back on display. Jordan Tuore, key in leading Glenora to the Fox Memorial title last year. Dominated the competition with his playmaking. Jethro Friend, a workaholic in the middle of the park, regularly gets through 40 tackles a game, but had some real spark out of the bottom of dummy half as well. So those two, no doubt, key figures for this Auckland representative team. And at the front for Tonga, we headlines a big Tongan forward pack. Daniel Palavi, he's joined by some giants in the middle of the field for the Tonga New Zealand residents. Our referees now as well making their way onto the field. Chris McMillan given the honour of refereeing this one in the middle of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to pause for the respective national anthems before we get into the pre-match war dances. First, we will observe a minute's silence in respect of Via Bloomfield, a Tongan representative, a stalwart of the Auckland game, and in particular the Otahuhu club. So we will be observing a minute's silence in honour. So a moment's silence in memory of Via Bloomfield, Otahuhu stalwart, and stalwart of the Auckland game in general, as well as the Tongan game. We're now going to go into the Tongan national anthem, which will be sung by Mile Nao Lino. Ladies and gentlemen, national anthem of Tonga, sung by Mile Nao Lino. We'll now move into the national anthem of New Zealand. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the pre-match national anthems for both Tonga and New Zealand. We're now going to move into the pre-match huckers. So welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. At our first break in this game, we will bring up the team list and introduce you to the sides as they will take the field. But the short turnaround for this one, meaning we may not get time. There's the team list on screen. We won't read them out. But as you can see, Auckland will be led by Jordan Tuore and Jethro Friend, Eko Malu and Daniel Plavi, the co-captains for the Tongan teams. So as we prepare for kickoff, there's the team list. Now let's get down to the action. The Auckland representative team taking on the Tonga New Zealand Residents. And it will be Auckland to get us underway off the boot of Palima Siaki. And it's a bouncing one down to the corner, scooped up by this Tongan side. Straight into the work, Simoni Makahili, the big Mount Albert Lion. Joseph Price taking it forward here. The captain now, Daniel Palavi. Up over halfway already now are the Tongans. Shuffle play on Stowers, goes to the line, plays short. Little pop-up one for Sione Tongia. Stowers now gets to the kick. It's a high one, a tester for Siaki at the back. Siaki goes up, takes it beautifully. That's tackled in the air. So Tonga will concede on their first defensive play of the game. They go high. So penalty coming up. Jordan Torde now to kick for touch. Tap and go, and we're into it. Daniel Riilu Buchanan from Wellington, but proudly representing Auckland today. Jethro Friend wearing the 21, but will play dummy half. Howard Brown, a late call-up to start at halfback in the place of Reece Joyce, who was battling an injury in the lead-up to the game. 20 out from the line now, Auckland. Good start to the game for the hosts. Howie Brown shifts play on. Torde, Raul Buchanan juggles it, goes forward, so it breaks down. But a positive first set for Auckland, a poor finish in the end. Riilu Buchanan putting it down. But they got through the middle pretty easily. I'm now going to welcome in Troy Hardy, my commentary partner, into the box. Well, Troy, a positive start there for Auckland, and I guess after pretty emotional pre-match, a nice settled one for both of these teams.
Yeah, just coming back off from prior to the kickoff, the captain for the Auckland team was saying, you know, the next 10 minutes, let's just take a little bit of patience, build on our sets of 6 and, you know, get ourselves into the game. So that's probably, oh, and we've got a bobble there.
And that's a definite strip. Referee Chris McMillan onto it.
Great to see the Auckland colours out there, and fantastic to see the support for the Tonga Residents team. Looks like shaping up to be a grouse game.
Our referees today, Chris McMillan is the middle, and on the touch judge, Anthony Elliott, vastly experienced, has refereed at NRL level, or match officialed at NRL level. He's joined by Rima Koti. So Tonga now building into it, their second use of the ball. They gave away a penalty at the end of their first set, but they're in good positioning already. Back-to-back sets here. Joseph Price now goes to the line, plays Stowers out the back. They go short to Mafu Briggs, looking for an offload. Auckland do just enough, holding on over the top by Torde. Now they dart out a dummy half. Auckland are going to be needed onto it. Just get there in numbers, hold him up over the line. Natane V it was who jumped out a dummy half. So a lively start here from both teams.
Mafu Briggs having a big season this year. Saw him play in the Maris game. He had a stormer. Looks like he's carrying that form on.
Daniel Pallavi right in front of the uprights. Michael Key in over the top. They're going to go to the edge now. Big contact. Tavita Mikaeli. Pallavi gets the legs driving.
Want the shift left.
Natane V. Price goes to the line, just held it up. Thought he might have sucked one in. Natane V now jumps off a quick play of the ball. Natane V's going to burrow low. He's picked up and dumped back to where he came from. Wonderful defence, Auckland. And that time Siaki spends just a little bit too long in there. But Troy, what about that tackle?
Mate, if we could see that again, we'll probably catch it on the Auckland Rugby League replays, and you'll find them on the YouTube channel. Oh, we've got one. Upright access, just having a look at that tackle. No, we missed it. Back to the live action.
V. Spreads play on now. They go at the line. A little juggle from Shomkul. Just holds on to it. Ikomalu. Back to Makahili. Natane V. Ikomalu now goes to the line. Half to half. Now they get back door now. Mikaeli. They've isolated them out wide here. Here comes the first try. Tonga are in. And it is Sione Tongia who is going to open the scoring. A beautiful line down the right corridor. Let's take a look on the upright access Man Cup replay. Starts with a good carry forward. You can see Eko Malu waving hands. Mikaeli chimes in on the back of it, and then you can see here, just holds it up just long enough, isolates Tongia, and through he goes.
Fantastic start there for Tonga. Bit of conversation in the background there, Corey. Just bear with us as we have decided that we're going to try and flick the stadium lights on.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all. It's getting pretty overcast, to say the least, here at Mount Smart Stadium. So potentially by the end of this one, when we finish up, lighting a real issue. So Willie Stowers to attempt the conversion from in front. But what a start from Tongan side. Despite their game really being based around power in the middle of the park, it was nice play on the edges that time that exposed Auckland. And now Willie Stowers to attempt the conversion from in front of the posts. Flags are up and Tonga lead 6 points to 0 over Auckland. 7 minutes gone.
Well, Auckland need to get themselves back into the match.
Pretty frantic start to the game. Howie Brown to get us back underway. Long kick. Makahili. Straight back into it, but good first up contact from Auckland there. Taylor Daniels involved. Joseph Price now driving the legs. Had a couple of nice touches already, has JP. Looking for the quick play of the ball. They get the penalty as well. Jethro Friend arguing the case.
I think you just wanted to have a discussion there with the ref.
So an ill-disciplined start here for Auckland. They need to sort this out pretty quickly. Kick for touch. Rain starting to come down here at Mount Smart Stadium as well.
And the lights are on, mate.
So back underway we go. Peter Olivetti. 25 out from the line. Trent Schomkel involved. He's playing on the edge today. Usually we see him as a middle forward. More a prop forward than anything, but stationed out on the edge today for Tonga. Makahili driving those legs. 5 out from the line. Auckland now, big test. Natane V jumps out, plays to Palavi, short, good contact over the top by Raiulu Buchanan. They hold him up. Ture involved as well.
Oh, he's dropped it.
And he's dead set milked that one, but he's not going to get away with it. Yes, he is. The call comes in late. It's going to be a penalty, but boy, I tell you what, there wasn't much in that one. Daniel Palavi looked like he clean dropped the ball there, but luck on the side of the Tongans on this occasion. So more pressure about to be heaped on Auckland. Tap and go is the call. Mafu Briggs charges towards centre field. Jethro Friend finishes off down below. Palavi gets the offload out the back. It's scrappy from Tonga. Stowers picks it up. Takes the tackle. They're going to go to the edge again. They're moving the ball around earlier, this Tongan side. Natane V jumps off the quick play. The ball now finds back inside to Malu. Malu finds Palavi. Palavi taken down low. Ball is loose again. Is that 6 again?
Willie Stowers thinks so.
6 again is the call. Auckland up against it. Price plays the ball. Sloppy ball around the legs from Eko Malu. I tell you what, Auckland aren't getting too many calls going their way. That may have been a knock on that time. V now clears the ruck. Daniel Palavi is going to go over. We wait for confirmation from referee McMillan. He's going to point to the spot. And Tonga are about to double their lead.
Great lead-up play here as we see in the upright access action replay. All the big front rowers have been, punishing on that line, and we see Daniel coming off that ball, showed a lot of strength, carried them across the line, and it's not the first time he's come knocking on the door in the first 10 minutes. He's been down here a number of times, just too much strength, and from that far out, just too hard to stop.
Classy carry there from Daniel Palavi. So kick to come from next to the uprights. And Auckland are being blown away in the opening exchanges of this one. 11 minutes gone, and Tonga are going point per minute at this stage. Big shout out to Upright Access, official sponsors of the inaugural Man Cup. Mick Curran here today, of course the first ever captain of Mate Ma'a Tonga all those years ago. Stowers to attempt the conversion from in front. Flags are up, Tonga lead by 12. And Troy, I dare say there's a few shocked looks on those Auckland boys' faces. They wouldn't have been expecting this sort of start. They have been pelted through the middle of the park from Tonga, but also their own discipline, their shortcoming.
Yeah, a couple of silly mistakes now put them under pressure. You know, in the first 10 minutes or so, they really haven't had too much ball. So, you know, they're probably going to have a strong set of 6 here on the defence and try and get the ball back and, you know, build some pressure.
Curious tactic there, a short restart, which wasn't really contested, and all it has done is gift Tonga perhaps 20 or 30 metres.
Yeah.
So 40 metres off the line now. The Tongans will start this set. Maka Healy fighting in the play of the ball. Doesn't Natane V look dangerous out of dummy half for Tonga, Troy? We've seen a couple of nice little touches from him already. Joseph Price now plays at the line. And Auckland were always going to have to weather the storm early on. They were going to have to survive an onslaught from these Tongan forwards. So far, they haven't done it. There's only 12 minutes gone. Stowers takes it to the line, looking to promote second phase. Last tackle coming up. Eko Malu dribbles a little kick in behind. Siaki scoops it up, juggles it, brings it in eventually, tackled by Nuka down low. Cole Waka, the classy centre from the Northcote Tigers. And now here we go, Simon Luafalialo, the former Maris Saint turned Glenora Bear. Taylor Daniels now with a gutsy carry, takes him up to the 40. It's tough stuff in the middle. Daniels has got an arm on the throat from Joseph Price.
He's popped it. Ref said play on.
Play kept alive here by Auckland. Friend gets to Howie Brown. Howie Brown dribbles that one in, and I dare say that's a smart tactic there by the Auckland side. They've been under it for the first 13 minutes of this game. Put that one into touch, have a little break.
You can see Jethro out there talking to his troops. Just need to have a bit of patience now.
Couple of late changes to this Auckland team. Corey Sita, a late call-up on the wing in the place of Johnny Tuivasa Shek. Simon Luafalialo as well, with Siave Tupou opting to play for Samoa. And then in the spine as well, Howie Brown coming in. He was 18th man before Reece Joyce failed to overcome injury late in the piece. So Howie Brown trusted with leading Auckland around the park. Break up the middle of the park here now. Held on just there by Reece Charlie in the middle of the park. He did well there, the number 13. Now they want the quick play of the ball to Tonga. Looking to get things rolling again. Stowers goes to the line. Dummies. Breaks through the initial one, but Auckland get there in numbers. Pushed up close to the sideline here. Mafu Briggs. A settler met well initially by Jethro Friend. Marlowe turns back inside to Price, who's met heavy up top. Ball may have come loose there. Play on's the call. No, it's not. Knock on picked up. Joseph Price with the error. Tonga's first error of the game. And Auckland now to pack down. So that's a little bit better from Auckland that time. Owned up in the middle of the park. No surprise, Troy. Jethro Friend leading the charge.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a big impression on today's game. And he'll be looking for, you know, some of the big boys in the Auckland pack now to start stepping up and making their presence felt.
A lot of hands on heads already for the Auckland boys. They've been asked to do a fair bit of defensive work in the first few minutes. Ball spills out the back. That's gone backwards. He's swamped by Olivetti, but great call from referee Chris McMillan. Play on is the call.
Oh.
Scrappy stuff. What are they doing at the back? It's left to Jamal Hunt to clean up. Now Simon Law-Falialo straightens, but boy, this is disjointed from Auckland. Lacking direction. Friend jumps out of dummy half now, spots Mafu Briggs, not square. Nice little run there from the captain. Gets them out of trouble, slammed to the ground. And over the top was Tongia. Jamal Hunt, just short of halfway. Friend has to go back to click to play the ball. Ture goes long, splits winger and fullback. Mikaeli picks it up. The chase is good from Auckland, and they pin him. Raiulu Buchanan finishes off. We mentioned in the build-up, just the third time this Auckland team have been cited this decade. There's a penalty for the Tongans. But Troy, a couple of games against the Auckland Māori in that time, as well as a game in the centenary year for the Auckland Rugby League. But so good to see the Auckland jersey back.
Absolutely. Too many time between drinks, and it's great to have the Auckland Rugby League team back and on board. And hopefully, you know, we can build some momentum around this and get it up to size and scale, and may long the legacy continue.
That's right. Certainly plans to make this an ongoing event. The Upright Access Man Cup, great opportunity for Tonga as well to bring through that next generation of players into the Mate Ma'a setup. Remembering of the 24 men who took the field for Mate Ma'a Tonga at the last World Cup, 14 of them played their junior footy here in Auckland, Troy. So it's a real synergy between Auckland and Tongan Rugby League. Ball spilt out the back end now. Eko Malu breaks in support is Law-Falialo, who has got some wheels. 30 metres out from the line. Advantage Auckland now. They want the quick play of the ball. Line of the play of the ball. Some of the service from this Auckland team has been appalling to start the game. Cleaned up by Reece Charlie, Polina Siaki. They just need to settle. Find their way into this game. Earn the right in the middle. Siaki. Tonga lucky not to concede a penalty there. Howie Brown shuffles play on. Ture now to Kolwaka. Kolwaka now into a little bit of space. Off the right foot, steps back inside. Gets the offload away out the back. Corey Sita there to clean up. He'll have to take a settler. Friend clears the ruck. Jamal Hunt now, 10 metres out. Ture got Siaki looming in support.
Wow.
And hang on, what's happened there? I think Jordan Ture has got on the board for Auckland, and it is Jordan Ture opens the scoring. Let's take a look at the Upright Access replay, because the kick was to no one. Siaki was looming on his left-hand shoulder, but then it pops up here.
He's got 3 defenders on him, so he's created an opportunity.
It's clever stuff from Jordan Ture. Goes to the line. Siaki hanging on his left. Dummy's torn, puts a little kick in, and it's popped off the upright, and Jordan Ture, Johnny on the spot, or Jordan on the spot as it is this time, picks up the ball and opens the scoring for Auckland.
Upright Access, the official sponsors for the Auckland Rugby League match against the New Zealand Residents Tongan team. And as the kick's now out in front, we look for whether he's going to be successful around this conversion, and we're not actually going to mention anything around the conversion.
No.
Or how easy it should be in front of the upright of the SAS sticks there. And in the background is Selwyn Pearson.
The legend himself.
Just making sure that the kids are all okay over there, as we've got a half-time break, and we'll be hearing from Andy Hay.
Howie Brown puts it over, and Auckland halved the deficit, so that's a little bit more like it from Auckland. Started to win that middle battle a little bit there, and actually take a few sort of settling runs, Troy, but boy, they've looked panicked at times, haven't they? The service from dummy half has been sloppy, and the playmakers probably just not getting to their marks.
Correct, and I think too is that they just needed a wee bit of time to get into the game. Leading up to that try, that early passage where they came out, went back door out to the wing, I actually saw them train that a few times last night, so that worked out fairly well. And coming into the middles and dropping on the inside, faking to go there, and then a little tip through, they'd done that a couple of times as well. So looks like some of their team strategy is going to play out throughout the match.
So here we go, big Abraham Papali'i onto the field. One of the form forwards of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership so far. Big Papa, been going very well for the Pirates. returned to Auckland after a stint in France last year. Played for Lesignan. Made a couple of French grand finals.
Great run on. Yeah, a wee bit more organisation going on here, and they just need a wee bit of structure, and you might see, you know, Auckland a bit of time on the ball.
Riulu Buchanan to Jamal Hunt. Another of these boys back from Australia. Spent some time with the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Reece Charlie is the first receiver. 40 metres off the line now are Auckland. Torde set centre field. Boy, that's a slow play of the ball. Price doing his very best to slow things down. Torde looks to the heavens. The chase is good. Waka and Cta are chasing. Cta goes up, flicks the ball back to Waka, and it's knocked on. But that's a promising play there. Corey Cta getting up and winning that battle there with Nuka on the wing. And I would imagine Troy will probably see that a few more times today.
Yeah, I believe so. You will do.
So Tonga to get the ball back. A frantic start to the game, end-to-end stuff here at Mount Smart Stadium. If you are just joining us, you missed the thriller in the curtain raiser, the Auckland Māori under-20 and Toa Samoa Invitational under-20. They couldn't be split at the end of 80 minutes. 24 all. Honours shared in that one, an entertaining game. Olivetti has to pick that one up off the toes. Trent Schomkel speaking to Tongan management. A really special week for Trent Schomkel, who admitted he's learnt more about his Tongan heritage in this week than he had in all his years previously. Father Dave, one of the initial Mate Ma'a Tonga players, also played for Auckland through the junior system. I believe might have played a bit of footy alongside yourself, Troy, Dave Schomkel, so a proud moment for him seeing Trent on the field today.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be massive pride for Dave, and, you know, Dave was a fabulous footballer, great fullback, and produces, you know, a big, hard-running front rower.
And they get the penalty there, Auckland as well. Waka lining up for the hit-up. He won't need it this time. 23 minutes gone. Torde kicks for touch.
The ball misses the man cups, which are down in front of us here. Probably just can't pick them up. Back onto the action.
Cole Waka takes the first one. You can see Jethro Friend there directing traffic at dummy half. Jamal Hunt.
Been busy, hasn't he?
He has indeed. A real standout for Papakura as well through the Fox.
Had a few carries this game for sure.
Torde goes to the line. Had his Glenora teammate Riulu Buchanan hanging on his shoulder. Instead took the tackle. Friend now jumps out of dummy half. Friend still fighting. Jethro Friend, hands play off to Torde. They might have numbers on the right-hand side here, Auckland. Reece Charlie plays short. Good defence, Tonga.
How close.
Papali'i just short. Reece slips over initially, gets up, last tackle. What have they got? Don't be surprised if Torde aims for
Try and burgle one.
the wing, and there's a penalty. Last tackle play, that's a coach killer there for Dwayne Mann. Back-to-back sets coming up for Auckland here. This is a bit more like it from the blue.
They've got to go. They've got to tap and go, don't they?
Reece Charlie coming off for rest. First man off the field. Papali'i now getting things back underway. Good opening stint there from Reece Charlie. Friend. Play back to the middle of the park. And fresh on the field is Chris Seal. One of 3 Point Chevrolet Pirates on the interchange today. Torde now goes to the line. Riulu Buchanan short. And he coughs it up. Good defence. Mafu Briggs up in the face, and they force the error there. Torde disappointed. And Riulu Buchanan may have worn a shot up around the nose there, clutching at the face. Fairly potent left edge out here when you factor in Riulu Buchanan and the classy Cole Waka, and then Corey Cta, who's been on the scene for a number of years, former Marist Saint turned Mount Albert Lion. He's all classes, Cta. And so far, Auckland have favoured that left edge, haven't they? Troy keen to go down there. Torde appearing to run things down that corridor, and Howie Brown on the other side.
They spent a lot of time down there last night in their captain's run, and they obviously feel that that's where, you know, their best strike weapon's going to be, or their strike opportunities.
So a good crowd in today at Mount Smart Stadium to watch Auckland take on Tonga. Plenty of Tongan flags in the crowd as well. Price. Been busy early on, has Joseph Price. Spent some time with the Junior Warriors through the ranks. Also played for Akarana.
Oh.
Big kick pressure there late in the piece, and I think we're going to come back for a penalty here. We are indeed. I think it may have been Mikaeli who was taken out late.
Tonga get to march up the field.
So this penalty action from where the ball landed, so that's a huge penalty for Tonga. Puts them back in the driving seat possession-wise.
Big Loaki in the background there, running the water today for the Tongan team. Well, maybe running the water's a bit liberal.
And not many people get the better of Epulahami Loaki, but on this occasion, the old hammy preventing him from taking the field in this one. Chris Seo there leading with the shoulder. Netane V to Price. Watches ball playing at the line. Plays it to Palavi. Really can
Look how
act
many
as
defenders are on him, Corey.
third half as well. You're right, Troy. Palavi demanding plenty of attention.
Auckland getting busy on the line, and they need to.
V goes out the back instead. Again, poor service from dummy half. We've seen a bit of that today. They straighten through Malu. V jumps out of dummy half. He's a run first kind of guy, is Netane V. Left edge they go. Malu dinks a little kick in behind. Devil of a bounce for Siaki. It won't matter. And I don't think that was touched. It wasn't. Back to the 20 we go for the restart. Good defensive set from Auckland.
Just having a look at Taylor Daniels in the background there. Just favouring that leg. He's heavily strapped.
He's been carrying that injury all year, hasn't he? We've seen a couple of times for Northcote. He missed a game the other week for Northcote, I believe, through injury. We have seen him struggling with that injury. He's obviously pushing through at this stage, but perhaps something to watch as this game goes on.
Great run.
To the middle of the park, there's a good carry forward by Michael Key. Tuare. Short to Seal. Space out here on this left edge now. Cole Waka holding up. Wow. And he's going to go into touch. Good defence, Tonga. They got there, read it beautifully. And it was a good idea from the Auckland side. Again, visiting that left edge, but in the end, Tonga scrambling beautifully, and they get him into touch. Half an hour gone here, and it is the Tonga New Zealand residents who are in control in the inaugural Upright Access Man Cup.
Getting ready to set the scrum here.
So Tonga, pack down, Noka. Good defence from Auckland, good line speed. They meet him head on, Papali'i involved that time. Look at this, Troy, they're getting up in the face now, Auckland. Big defensive set here from the home side.
Probably not as big as some of the boys that we've got on the Tongan side. The reserve has just come on for Tonga, number 14. He's a big human.
So knock on there from Tonga. So good defensive set from Auckland. Much more active off their line, getting up in the face of Tonga, and at the end of it, there's an error. Big shout out to SAS Sporting Apparel, sponsors of the Auckland Rugby League, sponsors of the Fox, and proudly on the Auckland jersey today. Whengainga takes forward there. Lua Falialo now getting involved. Nice to see young Simon Lua Falialo get a shot. Transferred to the Glenora Bears from Marist this year. Chris Seal, good carry. He's had some nice carries since coming onto the park. Has Seal, former Junior Warriors Player of the Year. Friend to Papali'i. Papali'i plays short at the line. Brings Michael Key in on the action. Papali'i so hard to bring down. Attracts 3 defenders. Last tackle coming up. Tore to the left. Brown to the right. It's Brown who gets it. Puts a little kick in behind. Chase is good from Auckland. Cleaned up nicely though by Tonga at the back. And it looks like Aquila Tuha is the man to come to the rescue there for the Tonga New Zealand Residents. But back-to-back sets coming up for Auckland, who have really started to tighten their grip a little bit in the last few minutes. Looking a different team to that which was blown away 12-0 early in the first 10 minutes. So Tonga to drop out. Auckland wanting to complete this set, keep building the pressure. Troy touched on it earlier that the Auckland side will back their fitness. If they have to win this one in the 79th minute, so be it. They believe they are the superior team in terms of fitness. They can't match it for this Tongan side in terms of sheer size in the middle of the park, because there are some absolute monsters in this Tongan pack. Speaking of monsters, Papali'i takes forward. Natane V involved in the tackle as well. 10 out from the line. Friend to Seal. Seal goes back door to Tuare. Tuare holding up. Tuare. Jordan Tuare rolls over. He's got the double, and Jordan Tuare has powered his way over. Beautiful play there from the Glenora Bears standoff. Let's take a look on the upright access replay.
Tried to slow the ball down here. Great service from Jordan.
And it's nice play from Seal at the line, isn't it, Troy?
Yeah, throw, sorry.
Takes it to the line, and then from there, Tuare dummies, and he's a big enough body to just roll over the top of Cruz Tupo there, and Jordan lets him know about it as well. Says, if that's all you got, I'll keep running down this corridor. And Jordan Tuare gets his second try, and Auckland's second try. Kick to come, we could be tied up, heading into the final 5 minutes of the first half here at Mount Smart Stadium. Thank you for joining us today. The live stream brought to you live and free by the Auckland Rugby League. AucklandLeague.co.nz. Do follow us on our social media platforms as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat.
The handsome Vigo's just walked past our commentary box, and that'll drive a few likes on our social media. So we wait for the kick to come. And the momentum's changed a little bit. I think Tonga straight out of the blocks, hard and fast early, and Auckland's sort of grinding their way back in now and having a little bit of time on the football and getting some points on the board.
So Howie Brown, the Mangari'i skipper, to attempt the conversion to the left of the uprights. Rain's starting to come down here at Mount Smart Stadium. And it's waved away, and so the score remains Tonga New Zealand Residents 12, Auckland 10. Howie Brown there, wide with the kick. 5 minutes to go in the first half here, and all of a sudden the rain's starting to come down pretty heavy here at Mount Smart Stadium. How does that change the complexion of this game?
Well, we end up with 5 people standing in front of us at the live stream to start with, and they'll bring all their communication with them and talk about how wet it is out there. Right, let's get ready for the kickoff.
You can see there on screen a little shot of the Man Cup. That's the prize on offer today. Bouncing ball here, a dangerous one for Auckland. Scooped up here, Michael Key takes it into the heart of the Tongan side. Cruz Tupo will be pretty keen to make up for that missed tackle earlier, which led to Jordan Tuare's second try.
You have to wonder if the wet weather's going to change any of their strategy or their plans. It may play a wee bit more into Tonga's hands in regards to being a lot more direct. Saying that, that's
Chris
not a bad run.
That's a gutsy run from Chris Seal. Jethro Friend now, plenty of talk, wants a quick play of the ball, hands it off to Michael Key, who's met head on. Dominant tackle there from Tonga. Willie Stowers finishes off. Seal involved again. Hasn't he been good since coming onto the park, Chris Seal? Friend spins it out to his fellow captain, Torde, who does well to get to a kick. Chase is good from Auckland. Corey Cta beaming down and it's taken a bounce, but it's out. So Tonga back to the point of play. That was a kick out on the full. A game of inches sometimes, and that time, what potentially would have been a brilliant kick. Disappointing one for Auckland. Aquila Tuha, the Papakura Sea Eagles flyer, spent some time with the Mount Albert Lions and Howard Hornets over the years. Sloppy stuff there, and Howie Brown's conceded the penalty. His Margaret East teammate Natane V.
They'll be talking about that back at the Hawks' Nest. So Stowers now to kick for touch. 3 minutes to go here at Mount Smart Stadium. I'm sure Tush was having a bit of a giggle on that one as she's watching the live stream here, courtesy of the Auckland Rugby League today, brought to you by Ctas, our live stream partners.
Trent Shomko pops the ball out. Malu's on the end of it. Here's another big boy, Kolionioni. Driving the legs as well. Fresh legs on the park. It's a good first carry for Big Koli. Natane V, Joseph Price. Steps at the line. Good contact though. Papali'i finishes in over the top. Tonga lead by 2. Pushing for further points now. Sione Tongia. Tackled well down low by his opposite number. Mati Tuitama. Palavi, there's an error. And the Auckland side, once again, their defence coming up trumps. And with 2 minutes to go in the first half, it is the Auckland side who are finishing the stronger of the two. A little push in the scrum there from the Tonga side. Torde picks up from the back. You would think Auckland pretty settled use of the ball here. I would want to get to half-time.
Good carry.
Oh, and Taylor Daniels finishes that one on his head. No malice in it. Joseph Price very quick to apologise.
So
the reigning Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year, Taylor Daniels. Sorry.
Opportunity here. Sorry, Corey, just, yep. Of course, Taylor gets the penalty awarded. Not much of a kick, though. So they've got a wee bit of few kilometres to travel on this one. Good first run.
1 minute to go here at Mount Smart Stadium. Our clock just a few seconds out, ladies and gentlemen.
And we come back to this left edge again, out the back door.
And sloppy stuff there, and it's going to be called back, and that's just about going to do us for this half. Auckland finishing on an error there. It was sloppy stuff initially. I thought they got away with it, but the call came in from the sideline, and no team in any rush to pack down the scrum. And with 30 seconds to go, it looks like the Tonga New Zealand Residents will take a 12-10 lead into half-time in the inaugural Upright Access Man Cup. They flew out of the gates to Tonga, scored 12 points in the first 10 minutes. But since then, Auckland
getting back into it
have been pretty impressive. Tonga might get a play in here. They will. Price spins the ball out the back. Malu's going to kick. They're going to chase.
Man on man's heard the call as they're chasing down on him.
Corey Cta at the back, and he'll just scoop that one up and run that one dead. So that'll get us to half-time. The Tonga New Zealand Residents 12, Auckland 10. Half-time in the Upright Access Man Cup.
Now, don't go away, ladies and gentlemen, at the halftime break.
The Hooters gone there.
Don't go away at the halftime break, ladies and gentlemen. And there is no halftime break. Looks like referee still got the whistle on this.
Confusion reigns here. Halftime has happened. And there we go. We get to the correct option in the end. So we'll now break for halftime.
Yeah, we got a wee bit of activity with some mini-mods action out there on the main field. So stay with us. We're going to have a wee bit of a chat and catch up with Andy Hay as the Auckland Rugby League football development team now race to put out 4 fields, I believe, and there are the Man Cups. One of them is the cup that the guys get to take away. A small one is the Auckland boys and Tongan players are heading back into the changing rooms in front of us and proving to be a fantastic match so far, as with the officials. And the boys will have a wee bit of a break now. And as you can see there, coming back to the Man Cup, that's what it's all about. And Don Mann will be here today. Great legacy family there. Dwayne Mann's the coach today for the Tongan team. And fantastic to have those guys here and involved, and just bring so much heritage and support and value to the game that we're presenting for you today here at Mount Smart number 1. Okay, as we wait for the Auckland football development team, and what a crack lot of gentlemen, sharp as a tack, as the boys are out there now getting their fields put out. And it looks like David's doing that by himself as he runs out there on the screen. Vigo hangs back here with Andy Hay, and Andy Hay will be joining us very shortly. And we've got some of the fantastic rugby league players that are up and coming, and I wonder how many of these guys are going to end up on contracts, Corey. And
great to see the boys out there and girls getting ready for kickoff in this one. Faces painted and all. Plenty of excitement around for this one.
Okay, Andy Hay's just come in. I'm going to leave him with Corey, and they're going to have a talk about what the key points are and what are we looking at here.
Welcome in, Andy Hay, Coaching and Development Manager for the Auckland Rugby League. Well, Andy, a new initiative this year with the Mini Mod Pilot. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about what we're looking at here on the screen?
Yeah, thanks, Corey. Good to be here. We've got 8 teams down here this afternoon playing the Under-6 Pilot, which we've put out this year in South Auckland. So you're going to be watching on the screen the new pilot rules, which the Under-6s have been playing out there in South Auckland. We've reformatted the game.